What if we could bring AC Milan back to the very top, but with complete realism? Welcome to my brand new Football Manager project, where over the next 5 years, we'll rebuild the AC Milan dynasty, staying true to reality. That means Allegri's real tactics, real life transfers, and only making moves I believe Milan would genuinely make. The goal? To dominate Italy, and if we get it right, challenge for the Champions League crown. And there's one massive twist waiting along the way. Stick around, because this journey is going to get wild. And if you want to play along, carry on with the exact same save file, the Allegri tactic, and over 10 more exclusive perks. They're all over on the Patreon, so make sure you are going over and getting stuck in, like an FM tactic. Let's get into it. Over to AC Milan. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let's get this done. So then, AC Milan, fully rebuilt with full realism, with the latest transfers and an Allegri tactic. The whole package all compressed into one amazing video. If you are enjoying the rebuilds this year, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, because we've not even done a whole year of rebuilds yet. Next year is my first official full year of rebuilds, and so far, your support has been unbelievable. But let's crack on with the AC Milan rebuild. And I'm excited because I've got a bit of a soft spot for this club. Now, I will say, we are blessed instantly with a few things. We are going to go over the transfers, don't worry, for anybody panicking. Number one, reputation. Already a very reputable club. Everybody knows who AC Milan are. Training facilities, nearly perfect. Youth facilities, nearly perfect. Youth recruitment, nearly perfect. We have got a club that aren't really in need of a rebuild based off their reputation, training, facilities. It's more of where they are in real life at the moment. They need a complete overhaul to really make them that Italian dominant team again, where they're winning everything in Italy relentlessly, season in, season out. And to do that, we are going to be using my latest Allegri tactic that was posted on the main channel yesterday. Before we look at that though, let's go over and see about their history. We're talking 7 Champions Leagues, 19 Serie A titles, 1 Club World Cup Championship, 2 European Cups, 5 UEFA Super Cups, 3 Intercontinentals, 5 Italian Cups, 2 Serie Bs, 1 Mitropopa Cup, 7 Italian Super Cups. They have won it all. They have won everything. And today, I'm going to get them back to where they belong. And to do that, as I said, we are going full realism. So I think the best thing we can do right now is to cut to the latest transfers. So the first real outgoing is going to be Theo Hernandez, obviously a very, very important player in that Milan team. And I knew he was going to go, okay? I knew he was going to go. But I am a little bit gutted he went to the Saudi League and didn't go to a real competitive league and show what he can do. Now, it's one big player to replace at left back, not an easy player to replace, because the guy is one of the best wing backs in the world. And at the end of the day, when you look at him in game as well, he really does prove that, with blistering pace, great tackling, good at putting the ball in, great aggression, great determination. He's a player that even if he wanted to come back to the club, I couldn't make that happen because it would not be deemed as realistic. So it's a big first player to lose, not an easy player to go over and replace. And do you know what? That might be one of our struggles down that left back. A lot of people weren't aware this happened, but we are going to lose Malik. Now, this is a player that obviously in our Newcastle rebuild, we actually did go and sign ourselves, and he was absolutely incredible. And I tell you what, the fact that I don't get to use him today is an absolute stinger, because this guy's really, really strong. Now, in the game, he's got a lot of work to do. There's no getting around that. I'm not going to beat around the bush, okay? He's not perfect, but I can tell you what, in a 5-year project when we're playing 3 at the back, this guy would definitely have gotten a lot of game time. So, again, it's not as bad as Theo Hernandez, because we can replace this guy with another young talent in the upcoming future, with someone like a Coley. Very, very big links there. That might be a player I decide to bring in. But this is still a big loss to the club. Obviously, we can't not talk about this man as well, the recent Leeds signing. Again, he's a player that I think is quite replaceable. He looks really strong in the game. I think in real life he went for about 19 million euros, if I'm not mistaken. So probably not a bad price, to be honest. A decent player for Leeds, it has to be said. But I would say he's quite replaceable. So, and we're not even playing wingers. So I guess from his striker side, he can be replaced. Obviously, we did lose this man as well. It is going to be Kalulu, a player that is very, very, very much wanted by everybody in Football Manager. He's a great player at the back because he's a perfect hybrid of centre-back and right-back, and we are going to miss him. It's the same as Malik, okay? If you have both of these players, I would not need to sign another centre-back, probably for another 5 years. But we've lost both of them, so I'm now forced into signing centre-backs. Now, there are several rumours going about, and several signings that I would deem to be realistic, so it's not the end of the world, but talk about losing a couple of good defenders, 3 defenders when you factor in losing Theo Hernandez as well. And probably their biggest loss is going to be Tijani Reinders, obviously a player that did actually go for 55 million euros, so a fair bit of money. He is 26, which I mean isn't old, you know. If we would have had him, he would have been only 31 by the end of the rebuild, and that would still give him a couple years. I mean, I do miss having this guy in the team. He definitely would have got game time, but once again, I think the biggest loss, in my opinion, is probably Theo Hernandez, because especially in this game, there's very few limited players that I would deem to be realistic that can replace him. But even with someone like Reinders, it's a big loss to any team. And yeah, we've got a lot of rebuilding to do. But luckily for me, we have signed players as well. The first player is going to be Arden Jashrari, coming in from Club Brugge for 36 million euros. Now, I will go over and say, I do not know too much about this guy, apart from he must be one for the future, because he comes in as a leading Serie B player. I like the fact we have signed a midfield player when we have let a midfield player go. It does make complete sense. How good will this guy become in the game? I'm honestly not too sure. And if there's any people who are Club Brugge fans or AC Milan fans that have more information on this guy, please let me know in the comments, because I love to learn about new players that maybe I don't know too much about. So for the next video, I can really look to put them in the right places. But as a general perspective, I don't want to say this, you know, because he's a brand new signing. In this game, he's more likely going to be a backup, isn't he? If we're being honest, he's going to be a backup. Especially when you factor in they've signed Rishi as well, which is a great player, 23 million euros from Torino. This is a good replacement for someone like a Tijani Reinders. A bit of a different vibe, but at least we're getting midfield players in. And this is a guy that I've used countless times in Football Manager. He's a real treat to use in midfield. Super young, 23, good potential, already a good Serie A player. Great dynamic passing range, good tackling, good determination, good work rate, good stamina. Not the quickest individual, but doesn't really need it in the role he's going to play. And this will be a big addition to the midfield. So super excited to get my hands on him and actually put him in this tactic, because I think he works quite well. Of course, sorry Brighton fans, but Purvis, 17 million euros is going to be coming from Brighton, a fantastic player. And when I said you couldn't replace Theo, this guy might not be as good as Theo in the game, but I tell you what, he's some player in real life, and I look at him in the game and there's not much I don't like. I mean, he's got great acceleration, great pace, great stamina, great work rate, great crossing, good tackling, good technique, good passing, good first touch, a very technical player. And when you talk about the pressure of replacing Theo Hernandez, they've done a very good job, you know. There was loads of talk about this signing happening, and he was very adamant he was not going to be leaving. And football, just like real life, can bang, snap and change, and he is an AC Milan player. What a signing. To Winter, I'm not too sure how much this signing was, but again, very important they do bring in centre-backs, and he has given me sort of a Malik vibe, because he's not exactly the best centre-back in the world, but he's got potential to grow, and you know what? He's got a lot going for him. He's got great heading. He's also got fantastic tackling, very good when it comes to the acceleration, and the pace, and the strength, and the fitness. He is a really good centre-back, who of course is still only 23, so definitely can grow. Now, is he the next Maldini? No. Is he a good solid centre-back? Yes. Will he get game time in a back three? Yes. So for me, very good signing. And that brings me on to the tactic. And again, at any part of this video you want to get this save file and this tactic and all of these perks, you can go over and check out the Patreon, where this month there is 30% off. So make sure you are going over and getting involved. But this team on paper is actually still quite good. I mean, we're going to break it down and really analyse it. So first of all, I would definitely not be putting Morata and Origi up front. The other new man as well, obviously, Modric, probably a one-season man, but if you look at him for a season, I'll use him. He looks absolutely sensational. So you've got Maignan. In fact, let's just sort this team out a little bit, because Rafael Leao will definitely be playing. So will Jimenez, in my opinion. So you're going to have Maignan, De Winter, Gabea, Tamori, Purvis, Sailmakers, Fofana, Modric, Benassa, Jimenez, Leao. You've got Pavlovic on the bench, of course, super talented centre-back, a bag full of potential. Pulisic, Origi, Pobega, Loftus-Cheek, Napoli, Colombo, Adli, Chukwueze, Traore, Jashari, Musa, Morata, Branca, Rishi, a lot of good players. Some players will probably get moved on. At the moment, there is no official bid for Leao, so I'll keep him, unless that changes at any point, which, you know, I don't think it will do. I think we are going to keep him. There are players that I will look to move on, like a Pulisic I can see leaving at some point. Origi, depending on his age, will probably get moved on. Depends if Adli works, he could get moved on. Chukwueze's in that category as well. Morata, those sorts of players. So there are players we can move on as well, and there are players like I sort of spoiled earlier, like a Coley, that I do want to bring in. But this team on paper is super good. I mean, both of our wing-backs are really good. The right-back, his tackling's not the best in the world, but he makes up for it by being a super attacking right-back. And the fact is, in a system like this, we're so reliant on attacking wing-backs. Very reliant. So Purvis and Sailmakers are going to play a massive part in the success of this tactic. The midfield's okay. I like it, but I will say Modric is older, Benassa's a little bit older. Fofana, how old are you? 26, you know. We've not really got anyone super young in midfield until you look down to the bench. So those bench players have really got to become one of ours and really settle well into the team. The back line, I'd actually put Pavlovic in, which completes a very solid back three. Super happy with that. And the goalkeeper's obviously one of the world's best, so very happy with that indeed. And I do think we can push on and do real good things over this next 5 years. Now, we are playing in two competitions to start things off, the Serie A and the Italian Cup, and we are predicted to go over and finish in 3rd place. Now, I'm going to be honest, I know how good this tactic is. I really like the players that I've got, and I think if we don't win it, we'll at least finish 2nd. So I'm going to go over into Season 1 right now, and we're finishing 2nd, if not winning it. I'm telling you, we've got that in the bag. Well, we are going to be in the Italian Cup final against Napoli, and we start off really hot with Benassa down the right-hand side, playing a ball back across in the box into Modric, and that is why you get... In fact, actually, it was a Rafael Leao goal. He stole it off Modric. I think that was going in anyway. Now, the thing with Napoli is they've already got a great team, but they have signed one player that you do not want to play against, and that is going to be Karim Konate, although it was an absolute gift. That was not even down to quality. That's an absolute gift of a goal. Now, luckily for us, we are able to go over and get another goal, and actually we are going to win our first Italian Cup. But after seeing that goal, Mike Maignan, the Saudi League could be calling. Regardless of that, we are going to win it 2-1 over Napoli. That goal will haunt me for a long time, though. Now, this is a trophy we have not won since 2002, so super cool to get back on top, win that trophy, but not only win that, also win the league. Now, I'm going to be honest. This rebuild is not about can I win at once, it's about becoming a team in Italy that everybody fears. Every season you'll win a majority of the stuff, and we are a true Italian powerhouse. Also, we weren't in the Champions League, so we've got a lot of work to do in this video, so don't think it's all done, because it's really not. There's a lot more to do. The squad's got a massive overhaul. The Champions League needs to be won, and I want to get in a habit of winning these league titles back to back to back. I want to be that team. Now, what I will say is, we've got a lot of good players in this team. Mike Maignan, despite the mistake, top clean sheets. Leao, Sailmakers, Purvis, Connie, all going to be in the average rating. Sailmakers, Modric, Purvis, all going to be in the top assists. And Rafael Leao is going to be your Serie A top goal scorer. And as a team, we must look incredibly scary to play. When you put us on paper, we have got an absolute lineup that people would fear. You've got 34-6 for Rafael Leao, 18-6 for Origi. Modric nearly contributed 40 goals at the age of 40 years of age. Now, he is retiring, so it was a one-season job, but I'm glad we got to use him. Benassa, 6-11. Purvis, 6-15. Sailmakers, 2-16. These are really good stats. You go down to the bench and, you know, Morata out on loan, 19-2. Do I think it's realistic that he stays? No. I'm going to try and sell him, offload him. However I have to do it, I will try and get him gone. Pabega, 9-13. Now, I am going to give this guy a chance. He's still only 26. He might come in and be a bit of a backup. If he's happy with that, he can stay. Musa, 2-2, which is pretty decent. Colombo, 14-5, a player that we can keep, and a player that, you know, might not ever turn into anything too magnificent, but can at least be a backup. We've got two strikers up front that are going to be moved on quite shortly. Divock and Morata. So we are going to need options up front. And the likes of Pulisic, I want him out my face right away. He doesn't fit into the team. I've never really liked this player at all in real life, and I'll happily sell him the first chance I get. As for Traore, of course, again, we don't play wingers. He can go, and Chukwueze, he can go as well. So if we can't sell them after a couple of seasons, I will use the editor and move them on, because then it makes it even more realistic, because they will be gone. But apart from that, I've got no real replacements in mind for this team. I mean, I like the backline a lot. I like the backline loads. We can definitely add players in. We can add players in like a Coley in the future. Wing-backs, I think, are good for now. Midfield, they are getting older, so there's a lot of pressure on like a Loftus-Cheek, who we've not even spoke about, actually. But Loftus-Cheek is 30 as well. So we've got a lot of older players in that team. Rafael Leao even is now 26. It's not too old, but at some point we might need a younger striker, depending if it fits into the realism. And there's lots of players that I've got in my mind that, you know, are playing for smaller Serie A clubs that would beg for a chance to play for Milan. So I think there's a lot of stuff we can do. Now, in terms of money, we are going to have a budget of £17 million before we sell anybody. The debts and loans, there's a little bit of debt in there at 22 million that I do plan to clear. And I do think this team already has shown it can win. You know, can win the Serie A. How many points was it again? It was quite good, you know, 95 compared to 83. We only lost 5 games the entire season. We lifted the Italian Cup, but the Champions League is a different ballgame. It's not just playing Italian teams. You're playing everyone. It's not easy. We are going to wave goodbye to Adley. I did want to give him a new contract, maybe so I could just move him on, but he had a pre-agreed deal going to the Saudi League. Now, he's a player that just didn't really fit into my system, and I'll be real with you, there's much better out there. Now, we did have a bit more than that money. We had about 52 million, and I are going to bring in a Coley from Leicester, well, Aston Villa in this game. When we pick him in, he's been heavily linked in real life. Now, I will say 25 million is an absolute steal, in my opinion. He's a player who will just sit in that team that can become a leading Serie A player. He's already really, really strong, right? I mean, you look at this player. He offers a lot of good things. Great tackling, great heading, great strength, good stamina, decent pace, not electric, but decent pace, great jumping, great fitness, great balance. He's a real complete centre-back. And the fact he's Italian makes it all sweeter. As we also sign a backup left-back and right-back in Parisi. Now, I've not seen any real-life links, but he's a player that is playing for Fiorentina, and he's a player at the end of the day that I'm pretty sure would be very happy to come to Milan. He's had no reasons or former clubs that go against the club, and it would be a massive upgrade for him as a player. And we're a team that have just won the Italian Cup and the Italian League. He would be crying to have this opportunity. So the fact he's also a very good player, and Italian, really good for registration, he is the perfect fit. Can play left back, can play right back, he's quick, can put a ball in, good dribbling, good tackling. He's a bit older, he's 26 years of age, but he will help me out. And like I said, he come in for 13 million and he actually done quite a good job. Got a lot of game time. I don't exactly know where he would have played because I don't think he's better than our current wing backs, but he must have got game time somewhere. And we are going to do it again. We are going to be back-to-back Serie A winners, so really putting the statement down there. Got rid of 2 losses. Last time we won or lost 5 games. This season, we are going to lose 3, so a lot better in that regard. Origi still at the club, scoring 31 goals. Rafael Leao behind him with 27. Again, very good performance from Origi. He is on the transfer list, I will clarify that. Benassa and Sailmakers are going to be your top assisters, and Mike Maignan is only going to be 4 clean sheets behind Jan Sommer, so a very strong season from a lot of our players, as once again, 4 of our players are going to be in the average rating. That is a strong Italian season. And we were so close to getting to the Champions League final in our first season. Sadly, on the day, we are going to lose to Paris Saint-Germain by 1 goal, which is really annoying because we would have been playing Arsenal in the final, and I do think we could have beaten them. I mean, to get to the semis, we got past Liverpool. That's why I think we could go over and beat Arsenal. 2 top Premier League teams. I feel like Arsenal are probably the easier one in this game. The round of 16, we had to beat Dortmund. We done that 5-3. A bit of a closer game. We didn't have to play in the knockout round, so I imagine the league phase we were very strong in, winning 6 games against Ajax, Club Brugge, Young Boys, Monaco, Napoli, Karabakh, a point there against City, and only 1 loss there against Chelsea. So a very strong Champions League season, and it's a good introduction for European football. Apart from that, sadly, the Italian Cup's not really too well. The Italian Super Cup, you know, our first chance to win that since 2016, we lose 2-1 to Inter Milan. Not a game team I want to talk about, and we also lose to Inter Milan in the Italian Cup in the quarterfinals. So, you know, quite an early exit by our standards compared to last year. So really, really positive in terms of the Serie A win, and I guess the performance in the Champions League may make up for the Italian Cup disappointment, because to get into a semi and only losing by 1 goal against PSG is really, really strong, and we can be happy with it. And it shows that I think with a couple more windows, we definitely can win that Champions League, which of course is one of the big parts and points of this video. And the team on paper, again, just really, really impressing me. Now, there are players that we are going to offload, as I've said. Origi's still in the lineup because no team has come in for him. It might now be where we use the editor to offload him. He's enjoyed a great season though, as did a lot of these players. So did Leao, so did Loftus-Cheek, so did Benassa, so did Purvis, so did Sailmakers, so did Fofana. A lot of players done really well. Musa 2 and 7, Santiago Jimenez 8 and 2. By the way, I will say this guy right here, he might not be a star striker in this rebuild, but trust me, if you're after a cheap striker, this guy can bag you goals. Check out some of my other rebuilds. Tottenham's one of them. He was absolutely incredible. Just in this team, he's clearly not getting the look in, and I'm not going to lock him in because he's not a wonder kid. You know, he's 26. That'll be giving him a bit of golden treatment. But I mean, we're very, very happy with this going into season 3. We are going to have a budget of £49 million. The debts and loans have been practically cleared, which gives me that big green flag to go and spend once again. And we can go into season 3, make some changes, and keep growing. Well, he was going to leave on the free, but I did manage to get some money for him. Divock Origi is going to go to Fenerbahce for 1.4 million. Now, he was literally leaving on the free, so that's why it was an emergency to get rid of him. And I thought the Turkish league actually might suit him. So, Fenerbahce, you've got a new striker. Sic, I've got no idea where he is going to go, so I sent him to Saudi, to be honest. I cashed in on his minimum price of 29 million, or 18 million, actually. Thought I'd give myself 29, but 18 million pounds. And at the end, there were 38 million pounds. I did 39 million pounds. I was looking at that right there. 39 million pounds, I was going to say. I thought I'd really sold him for 18. 38 million pounds we get for him. And, you know, a player that I don't know where he's going to go, but in this system, he just doesn't really work too well. So I thought I may as well sell him. At the end of the day, I can see him going in real life at some point. You give it, what, 3 seasons like we've been in right now? Don't think he's going to be a Milan player. Signing one for a backup goalkeeper is going to be a player they've been linked with from Parma. That is going to be Zion Suzuki. He comes in for 2.3 million. He keeps 5 clean sheets, to be fair, in 7 appearances. So it does tell me there was an injury to Mike Maignan, because he would never get ahead of him. He's purely a backup goalkeeper, but he's linked in real life. Decent player. Got the job done. 3 positives. Player with no links in real life, but definitely would be tempted to come in, and again, meant to be a backup right back, but he's actually come in and actually clearly started. And I tell you what, 7 goals and 17 assists is a massive upgrade on Sailmakers. A really good performance, 21 million. Correa is going to come in, and do you know what? Super happy with this. Now, this guy in the game is really, really strong. It's pretty obvious, you know. Great acceleration, good agility, good pace, good stamina, good strength, can put a ball in. The tackling's a weakness, but he's clearly defended quite well as well. And for that price tag, super happy with the results. I don't think you can ask for much more. Vela, again, a fantastic Italian midfield player, 26 years of age, so again, not super young, but he still can improve. There is still potential there, a couple of links in real life, and very similar to someone like Correa. If an offer did come in, like Parisi as well, he'd take it, you know, to go to AC Milan, a top team that are winning top trophies at a top club in a top league with top players and a top manager, he would take it, wouldn't he? So he's going to come in for a grand total of 31 million, have quite a decent first season. Now, he's not even guaranteed football in this club. There's a lot of good midfield players, right? And he has to earn his right to play. The good thing about him is, though, he can play in multiple roles. So he's actually got a one-up over a few people in this team. He's also got the one-up of the fact of, like, Modric went, Loftus-Cheek is getting older, Benassa's getting older. He will get a look into the team. And I just thought, do you know what? A bit of Italian blood in the midfield, it's what you need. And this one is, you know, he can go to anyone, can't he, really? He's not going to stay at Benfica for life. And at the end of the day, if a team in the Serie A like us that are winning everything and pushing for a Champions League win, why would you not consider it? So he's going to come to us, Silva, for a total of 43 million, play every game and drop a great average rating. Sadly, already wanted by Real Madrid, and that might be the twist in the video. Hopefully it's not, but this guy, do I need to talk about him? I don't think I do. The Italian Super Cup final, another chance to try and win this finally, and Loftus-Cheek is going to go over and make it 1-0 in 24 minutes, where the game went pretty silent, okay? The game went pretty silent, not too much action, but luckily for us, Sailmakers plays a ball back stick, and we're going to go over and win 2-0, finally. A bit of a step back in the Champions League, only by a stage, but regardless of step back, Liverpool are going to beat us 3-2. It was actually a goalless draw on the first leg. The second leg, we actually, obviously, lose 3-2. So not ideal at all. The round of 16, we did have to get past Tottenham, so a bit of an easier time there as well. And we were still good in the league phase. Not as good, but still obviously getting out quite comfortably, but definitely a step back. If we're being honest and fair, a bit of a step back. Another Italian Cup final. This time it is going to be against Napoli, and a chance to win this trophy again. And I tell you what, we don't start off too well if that's going to be our aim. But luckily for us, 30 minutes on the clock, we're going to play it into Tomori, into Ravella, a ball into Correa, into Jimenez, and a lot of the new signings there really playing a part in that goal, which is really impressive to see. And we're able to complete this comeback in the actual first half before we even get into the second half of football, with Jimenez just taking on the entire back line, showing that bit of quality I was telling you about. And we are going to go into that second half 2 goals up to 1. So a very good position, and we actually improve on that position with Correa down the right hand side into Silva, into Fofana. I mean, the goalkeeper should be saving it in my opinion, but I'm not going to complain, as we are going to lead 3-1, and we carry on. Correa down the right hand side, plenty of space to run into, plenty of space, great ball back stick, Rafael Leao off the bar, little rebound, and that is going to be 4-1. And we could have stopped there, but I thought, nah, let's carry on. And we go on and actually win this game 5-1 by simply being the better team on the press. Force some mistakes, going through, last kick of the game, 5-1. We also do win the Italian League, so that is going to be 3 times winning that, and it is also going to be the Italian treble in Season 3. The Serie A, the Italian Cup, the Super Cup. 3 trophies in Season 3. All the threes coming out. And I tell you what, the league was really, really well done here. Every season we're losing less and less games, which is really cool to see. We only lose against Bologna and Fiorentina, so a very, very good result there. Santiago Jimenez is your top goal scorer. Rafael Leao, your 4th top goal scorer. Correa, your top assister, and Mike Maignan with the most clean sheets. So we are really, really impressing over in Italy, becoming that super Italian giant that I really wanted to craft with this team. I know the players well, I know exactly what they can do, and at the end of the day, you put them in the right system, this can be reality. And clearly, this is now the reality, because this team is firing on all cylinders. Now, Morata, I might use the editor now to offload him. He's actually now retiring, so I won't be doing that. Morata, goodbye. So let's put Leao back into his position, and this team on paper is just doing what you'd expect. This back 3 now might be one of the best you'll see in the league. Tomori, Akoli, Silva. Absolutely incredible. Purvis, Correa. Correa is a wild shout, right? Because he is now 29, but he's playing so well. The midfield's got a new player in Revea, doing really, really well. Benassa still staying strong at 32. I'm 30 years of age. I put years on the poor guy. Loftus-Cheek, 32. Got them 2 mixed up. He's still going strong, though. So, for now, we are fine. Obviously, as time goes on, we are going to see a few players start to dip out the club because of age and things like that. But for now, things are going pretty well, and we can carry on. We've got good money to spend. We've got 65 million to be exact to go and spend. We've got basically a debt-free club, and things are looking up and up and up. The reputation on the up, trophies on the up, results on the up. We're having a great time. Right, I've gone wild. I have signed someone who I cannot believe has not moved already, to be honest. It's going to be Scalvini. Again, a player that is playing at a decent club in Italy, but nowhere near the level of Milan in this rebuild. And another player that would take the step up, especially if he was interested in staying in Italy, which tells me he might be, considering he's not moved yet. Super centre-back in this game, and that completes definitely the last centre-back I need to sign. We've replaced the centre-back issues very, very strongly. In fact, we'll look at the team at the end of the 5 years and really analyse what we've got. And I tell you what, centre-back is going to be one of the strongest places. We've got a real good set of rotation. 39 million, good amount of goals, also getting some assists in there as well. And just your generic, rock-solid centre-back who is still not even that old. 25's not old by any means. And offers so much to the team. And you're buying from a league that he does well in. There's very few risks. You've got a pre-built superstar and a player that wants to join your club. What more can you want? Maybe Gabri Veiga. I feel like this guy never has really gotten a chance to shine at a top club. So I thought, do you know what? Obviously, he has in real life now. He's gone to Porto, and that's what I was monitoring because this guy's really good. And I thought, do you know what? If he does well, I'll get him. And he's done very well in these 2 seasons here. And he's a player that, again, I imagine will return to a, no disrespect to Portugal, but like a top European league. And why not AC Milan at the end of the day? He is now 27, but he brings me a brand new midfield player in. He's 5 years younger than Loftus-Cheek, 3 or 4 years younger now than Benassa. So we're still putting youth into the team without even signing like a 21-year-old. So it helps us out massively, and that completes a ridiculously strong window, a very strong window. We've done it again. It's becoming a regular habit, but we are going to be Serie A winners for is that 4 times in a row? We are doing exactly what I want to do, and it is really nice to see. We are seeing Santiago Jimenez being the top assister, which is pretty cool to see as well. Rafael Leao, your top goal scorer. Santiago Jimenez, your second top goal scorer. This is why I say, guys, listen, because this man is a monster up front. He really, really is. Mike Maignan is going to be in there as well. And we have just had another very, very, very strong season. And I can tell you something now. Despite losing a couple more games, we've not just won this. I've got to spoil it. We've not just won this, because we also win the Italian Super Cup 2-0 over Inter Milan, making that back-to-back trophies in back-to-back seasons. The Italian Cup being played at Rome, the home of Italy. We are going to go over and give, you know what, give them an absolute thumping, to be honest with you. I'm not going to hide it. I mean, we are going to come out and put on an absolute show. 1-0 up here in 37 minutes, and I'll say something, all right? They can't defend. They really can't defend this team, as we're going to go and score about 4 minutes after. Benassa picks the ball up, takes it inside, goes alone, and that's going to be 2-0 before the first half ends. Now, I will say, it wasn't all perfection, because Anthony with Fiorentina into Keane, plays it out wide into Terzic, takes on his man, low driven strike, and bang, 2-1. So at this point the game was interesting, and the next goal every time in this scenario is very important, and we get it. And I was so confident we were going to win this game, and we did. We did win this game. We go on to win this game in 4-1 fashion, and that is now going to be back-to-back seasons. We're not only Italian league winners, we've won the treble back-to-back times. That is right, we have won the treble back-to-back times and improved in the Champions League, back to semi-finalists, and that is our best season by a country mile now. So close to a Champions League final, the Italian treble has been secured, and now I think, what do I do? Where do I go? Because we have got a couple of players on my head that have been heavily linked. Dusan Vlahovic, I always butcher his last name. I'll say Dusan. He has been linked heavily in real life. I want to get him, but I don't want to get him because I don't know if we need him, but it is realistic. By the way, don't worry, Leao's still at the club. That is going to be Morata that would have been kicked out of that position. But I might go and get him because now we only have Colombo as a backup, so I might go and get Dusan as well. We are going to have the money. He is a bit of an older player now, so he's not going to be too expensive. But this team on paper, I think we've rebuilt so well. Like I said, at the end of the 5th season, we'll go over a whole squad sort of overhaul and really dig deep into what I have done this rebuild. But for a season 4, couldn't be happier. We've got a chance of winning the Champions League. I've already sort of ticked off being the Italian giant. We're now a team that have won the Italian treble in back-to-back seasons. For me, that's definitely a bit of success. So we're going to go right into season 5 now. Maybe sign Dusan and see if I can win that Champions League. I've done it. I've welcomed in Dusan. Now he comes in for a total of 52 million and he contributes 47 goals. So I'm going to say it right now, the Italian treble may be on again. That is a ridiculous return. He's a very good striker though, isn't he? He is 30, but there's been several rumours in real life. I've done it for that fact, you know. I can link several articles saying this might happen, and you know what? I've backed it, and clearly it might be a good addition. A fantastic player, even at 30. What a partnership. Him and Leao. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest, I think we may have won the treble again. I'm just going to say it. Also welcomed in Profundi. Now, he's got a real-life move, but it was a move to a club that, to be honest, I think he would take AC Milan as a step up. And he's a player that, you know, I wasn't really signing for this season. He's one for the future. He only plays 5 games, doesn't really do too much, but still had that release clause. If you've not played Football Manager, you won't even know who this guy is. If you have played Football Manager, he's one of the most well-known wonder kids. So I've got him in, Italian, really nice to see. And that is going to be our last signing of the video. Dusan and Profundi. question is, have these two won me the Champions League? No, they haven't. It's our worst finish in a long time. We are going to lose in the round of 16 against FC Porto. So sadly, we will not be Champions League winners in this last season. Let's just hope we've maintained the Italian treble. But we're going to start off strong, as we are going to win 5 out of 5 Serie A titles, which is some statement to lay down. Rafael Leao and Dusan are going to be your top goal scorers. Mike Maignan, your most clean sheets. Benassa and Purvis are going to be joint first with Gustav and Rayan when it comes to the most assists. And have we done the treble? No, we haven't. That's a bit of a shame, but I mean, still, this has been a very, very good recovery of a club using full realism. Now, if I was using a meta 4-2-3-1, would we win the Champions League? Yeah, we would have done. But this is about a full realism tactic, full realism transfers, and at the end of the day, we've still done very well, you know. We've won the Italian Super Cup 2 times, pretty decent in a 5-year run. The Italian Cup we have won 3 times. The Serie A we've won 5 times. Gutted about the Champions League, but clearly was not meant to be. But what a job we have done with this team. And now we are going to look at what I have left you for my Patreon members that are going to go over and copy this save file, have a good time with it, and obviously your aim's to win the Champions League. Now, this team, first of all, it's rebuilt in full realism. I'm looking at it again right now, giving myself a couple of seconds. There's not a single player here that I would not say is realistic, to be honest with you. Now, realism, just to clarify again, means either they've got links in real life or they're somewhat in like a Correa position, Scalvini position, where they're playing for a smaller team in that league. And if there was a team that was interested, that were winning everything, they would go. And I look at the team on paper. Maignan was one of our own. Silva was in that position. Scalvini in that position. Tomori, one of our own. Ravella in that position. Purvis, real life signing. Correa in that position. Vega in that position. Loftus-Cheek, one of our own. Leao, one of our own. Dusan, real life transfer link. So we've got a nice mixture in there. And on the bench, Suzuki, you know, in that unique situation. Parisi in that. Benassa, one of our own. Jimenez, one of our own. Akoli, real life links. We've done a real good job, to be honest, in merging different forms of realism, because there's loads of different ways you can say they're realistic, right? And we've ticked it off really well this video, so super happy. But let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, the team I've left you with is a bit of a serial winning team. Great wing backs, great attackers, very good return, and as a club, money wise, you would have a budget of, oh, you've been blessed, £81 million and a perfect debt-free club, where the club by itself has now got a 5-star reputation, 4-star across the whole board for the rest of the stats, and yeah, a load more Serie A titles. So that is going to be AC Milan rebuilt in full realism, using the latest Allegri tactic, which can be found on my Patreon. Let me know the team you want to see rebuilt next, using full realism. Remember, it can be anybody. As long as they've got a bit about them, they're making some transfers, so the videos are interesting, I'm up for it. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day.